PRC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 9th day of December. Pretty challenging forecast over the next 3 or 4 days. We're going to have the potential for heavy rain, severe weather, maybe some snowflakes along the way. Let's get right to it. We'll go to our Skycam shots around the network this afternoon. First off from Birmingham, looking southeast from the top of the Daniel Building. Off in the distance, you can see the St. Vincent's Medical Center complex and Red Mountain in the sky, mostly cloudy. The Demopolis Skycam down in Marengo County, a few thin spots in the overcast, but again, generally cloudy conditions there, and some rain falling on the Alabama Gulf Coast. A few rain showers developing as dew points have jumped up into the mid-60s, and those higher dew points are advecting north. Well, there's the story. Got a big trough coming out of the western states that is firing up some big-time storms in the warm sector. First time we've seen really stormy weather in terms of severe weather in a while. There's a look at our watch warning map this afternoon. Mostly those are wind advisories. All of the counties there in the darker shades of brown around here. Of course, that is a tornado watch off to the west through parts of western Mississippi, southeast Arkansas, northeast Louisiana. And then we've got winter weather advisories from Wichita, Kansas up to Des Moines, and winter storm and snow warnings up for parts of Wisconsin and Michigan. There's our tornado watch in effect until 5 o'clock this afternoon. That includes central and western Mississippi back into Louisiana, southeast Arkansas. And look at all of the counties in red and parishes in red. Those are counties and parishes under tornado warnings. It has been a very active day over there, and the Storm Prediction Center continues a moderate risk of severe weather off to the west. That includes that tornado watch area. And surrounding that, a slight risk. And again, we would not be really shocked if they expand that risk on deeper into Alabama, because it certainly seems like a number of parameters are in place for severe storms here later tonight. There's the radar view, and you can see the storms extending from east central Texas up through Louisiana, Arkansas, the delta of the Mississippi River, then back up into western Tennessee. Here's the instability values at early afternoon, and we've got the surface-based capes as high as 3,000 over south central Louisiana. And those higher capes will be advecting north, and we've seen model runs that suggest the instability values could be as high as 300 to 500 joules over Birmingham later today and tonight. And in terms of the helicity, this is the 0 to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity values. And you can see that the numbers are really maxed out over Tennessee, but you've got that good axis of low-level rotation, that's veering of the wind in the lower 1 kilometer, which sometimes can enhance tornado formation all the way down into the delta region of western Mississippi and ultimately east and northeast Louisiana. And that is one of the concerns we have, and that we could see a few rotating storms here later tonight. I think the main threat will be from strong straight-line winds, but a few isolated tornadoes are not out of the question. And, of course, rain is going to be very beneficial. This is suggesting rainfall amounts of 2 to 4 inches for the state this week, and that's probably a pretty good number. We'll get a lot of it tonight. We'll get more on Thursday with that next wave coming in here. We'll take a look at modeling. This is the GFS, the 12Z run. Valid at noon tomorrow, noon on Wednesday. Deep upper level low coming through Texas, and that will be the one that produces the second batch of rain on Thursday. In the meantime, that initial batch of rain just takes its time. It's not moving out of here in a hurry. In fact, at midday tomorrow, it's still raining heavily from Atlanta down to Montgomery along Interstate 85. The rain ending over North Alabama, north of Birmingham. So we do think the rain ends tomorrow morning from round 1, but here comes round 2 on Thursday. And the GFS is depicting a cold core upper low right over West Alabama and East Mississippi. And boy, those things are problematic. You've heard us say cold core upper low, weatherman's woe. And let's take a look at it and see if we can get any dynamic cooling going. This is Thursday at midday. This is suggesting, and this is the GFS, suggesting the surface low near Atlanta and temperatures below freezing at 5,000 feet, that 0-degree blue circle where the dynamic cooling effect could be enough for snow. And you can see it's in place over a large chunk of Mississippi. Even though the surface temperature fields, the lower 5,000 feet really don't look supportive of snow, we've seen these things before, and they have really produced some snow surprises. And the one that comes to mind is December of 1997 had a big event like this that produced 8 inches of snow over parts of Mississippi, and then ultimately about 5 or 6 inches into West Alabama. Now, we'll go to Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, and we note that freeze line at 5,000 feet, it goes deep into the Gulf of Mexico. So all of Alabama is in that area. And I think you can't ignore this. And what we're going to do in the forecast is mention Thursday, a cloudy and cold day with periods of rain with the potential of a change to snow Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening before it all ends Thursday night. And we'll go to midnight Thursday night. Everything is winding down. The surface low is moving up toward Chesapeake Bay and Delaware, and that would suggest maybe a few wraparound flurries back on the backside of that thing. So the greatest potential of snowflakes would seem to be from maybe 4 or 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon until about 10 o'clock Thursday night. Now, the ground is warm, relatively speaking, and I don't know if we can have enough snow. Surface temperature should be above freezing. I just don't think it's going to be a big issue if it happens, and that's a big if. We'll be much more comfortable forecasting this after tonight's storm event. And I wanted to show you one quick look here coming off the NAM. This is the total snowfall. And look at that. This is suggesting about 1 to 2 inches of snow for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and Gadsden, with amounts of 2 inches or greater from about Boaz up to Fort Payne. And really heavier snow up there in the mountains of North Georgia and eastern Tennessee. So you can see that there's definite support for that idea. And then we'll go to Friday. The whole thing is, by the way, quickly, the GFS, this run of the GFS depicting that heavier snow axis, heavier but farther to the northwest, running from near Jackson, Mississippi up to the Shoals with hardly anything for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston. So as you can see, some conflict between the two models, but you can't ignore that. So again, we're just going to mention the chance of the rain changing to snow for a time Thursday evening. And then Friday, the whole thing is gone. We are cool and dry, the sky becoming mostly sunny. Saturday will be a dry day, sunny and cool, highs in the 50s. And Sunday will be dry. A southerly flow kicks in, probably a bit warmer, maybe close to 60. Monday of next week, we're getting into the battleground here. Ridge developing in the Gulf, a warm ridge and a cold trough out west. That's going to be cold for California. Tuesday of next week, same deal. Warm ridge pumping up into the deep south, cold trough out west. And down below that, we stay dry. So at this point, we'll maintain pretty much a dry forecast on Monday and Tuesday with mild conditions. We should be up in the 60s. We'll go deeper into December. This is the 21st. And boy, look at the 588 ridge over Florida. That'll be more like springtime there with warm weather for Miami and Jacksonville and even up into Alabama. I'm afraid for you snow lovers on the 21st of December, if this is right, we are relatively mild. The west is very cold. In the end of the forecast period, Christmas Day, December 25th. Oh, no snow if this is right. We'll be in the warm side of that trough. The cold air stays out west. A pretty big rain event on the cold front there. But again, this is suggesting what we've talked about, the flip to the positive NAO with the cold air out west and mild weather over the east for the latter part of December. And the trends continue to move in that direction. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes on the blog, AlabamaWX.com, if you're watching this on YouTube or iTunes. The next video by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And, of course, we invite you to watch us locally on television, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.
Weather.